again tonight. We have some people who are threatening to do harm today. I won't tell you who they are. They come toward the end of the reading, and one of them has an actual birthday today. So we're gonna have to sing to him when we get to him. But some of my best people are here, my best friends. Love you guys. And so we're gonna get started. Mahogany's gonna come back. She's gonna tell you 5 by 5 who you're gonna be hearing. And we're gonna boogie all the way to the end. All right, everybody? Is the team ready? Team's ready? Caesar ready? Up, okay. Caesar's ready, okay. Okay, it's now streaming live. Okay, Mahogany, I'm ready when you are.
All right, we are here, we are ready, good. We're waiting on a couple of more folks, but as they show, I will let them in. And of course, please keep yourselves muted. Otherwise, the screen goes to you rather than to the Queen, Patricia. Happy birthday, Patricia. So excited to celebrate.
Thank you.
You will hear from these 5 poets, Caroline Forish, Dante Michaud, Carl Phillips, Saeed Jones, and Cornelius Eady. Cool? Yes. If you're ready, like I'm ready, go ahead, start putting some hearts up on there. This chat is already started online. You can share it with your Facebook friends. And we're ready to go. Word. All right, so first up, Caroline.
Okay, Patricia, I am wishing you the happiest birthday ever. And I'm so honored to be in this group. And it was luminous last night, absolutely incandescent. I'm going to read a little poem that you put on your list of choices. It's from the new book, and it's a little soft to begin. It's called Toward the End. In this archipelago of thought, a fog descends, horns of ships to unseen ships, a year passing overhead, the cry of a year, not knowing where, someone in the aftermath who once you knew, the one you were, a little frisson of recognition, then just like that, gone, and no one for hours. A sound you thought you heard, but in the waking darkness is not heard again. 2 sharp knocks on the door. Death it was, you said, but now, nothing. Islands, places you have been, the sea, the uncertain, ghosts calling out, lost as they are, no one you knew in your life. A moon above the whole of it, like the light at the bottom of a well opening in the iced air where you have gone under and come back. Light, no longer tethered to your own past. And were it not for the weather of trance, of haze and earth, you could see everything at once. Every moment you have lived or place you have been without confusion or bafflement. And you would be one person. You would be one person again. Thank you, Patricia. Love you.
Thank you, Wanda. Thank you for reading my poem.
Love you, Boogie. Okay.
Me too.
Patricia, 17 years ago, all the way from London.
Okay. I'm in London.
17 years ago, we met. You were walking and you asked me where the mailbox was so you could mail a letter to your son. I'm going to read 3 poems, the first of which reminds me of that day when we met. It's called The Day Room. Keep to yourself, Mom's solemn advice, but as soon as I got there, they had it in for me. Long shadows of boys I knew in white isolation, jumped, cut. There was feces on the walls, everywhere mice, spoiled milk. Festering, we ran inside our minds, berserk with capture. So much chaos, right and wrong is weird in there. Once we smell weakness, we on you, was how the tailor put it and meant it. Daring a brawl for table rights, the poisoned food. Each unheard voice surrounds me, raging, and gives no quarter. The sinking chair. Behind the delirium of fever, I recall the capture many suns and moons ago. On the path to a neighboring village, an impala broke the tall grasses in the wrong season. From nowhere, the familiar of a warning god. But I had made my prayers and thought nothing of it. Now, a mask tied round my mouth forbids speech or any noise as I fall, lest my brothers revolt. The air, the warm then cool caress of ocean is salvation. What care stretches out from the other world, places me upright with golden cords about my breast in the captain's favorite chair, its seat of shimmering cloth, wood hewn from a hot country, weighted with expendable ballast, and pulls me down slowly away from strangers and an inevitable life of torture through dark, cleansing brine that rids my body of pox and makes me a holy relic at the bottom of the sea.
Trump losing ground with his base of white votes.
And lastly, I'll read something slightly more celebratory, a much older poem called Old School Dance. Has an epigraph: wind it back, girl, make your hair touch the floor, wind it back, Beyonce Knowles. The place is primed for a party primed. The boys are out to night the night, black boys in their odes to the skinny black jean and on-time entrances. In the right kick and t-shirt, the noise of lust is beginning its rumble and flash. Check the line, the primp, the jailbait with their ploys, scrounging their pockets for lip balm and loose cash. The entrance fee for bump and grind, dance floor antics, open noses, a couple of white trash fag hags in the mix for sport, and all eyes on the door. A yellow cowboy takes the center and gets to getting it, catches the heat of a big brown beauty whore who makes the boy crawl up the wall with a hit of his magic stick. Then everybody's favorite song is played at once. The new jam you have to admit makes you want to slip your spine and dance so wrong it's right. A guarantee of suspicion put harder at the end of the ball, and if you're lucky, someone cute and strong enough to deal with all you just let go, on the men, in the rhythm, in that moving, in all your shimmer, without regret or shame for those you might offend. Happy birthday, Patricia.
Thank you, Dante. Love you.
Love you too.
Bruce, can you get me a fan?
Am I on? Am I speaking now? Yeah?
It's
Okay.
you.
Okay, good, thanks. Hi, Patricia, happy birthday.
Hi, Carl. Thank you, love.
I remember, well, we didn't meet, but you read in 1992 from your book, Big Towns, Big Talk in Boston.
Wow.
And I was so blown away and also too afraid to introduce myself. My first book had just been out a couple months, and I don't know. It seems like a long journey. Anyway, I'm glad we're both here to celebrate this.
Thank you, love.
Anyway, I'm gonna read a poem, obviously. This is called If It Must Be Winter. Not crowns, not conquest defined in terms of how many fear you or fear to say otherwise. Not by these will you know your own royalty, but in smaller ways, how to the least gesture there's more power than seems reasonable, though it will feel deserved. So I was told, and they have not proved wrong. I've but to open my hand, bees come to it, the slick fur of bees assembling as toward an honor in no way expected, though each time the honor remains mine, as if almost it should, as if certain privileges had to do with destiny. Do I believe that? Do I? My hand, a sea, across which the wings of the bees flash like signal flags whose patterns, instead of translating, I make up my own translations for. I shall do as I please. As a lovely argument can make a difficult truth more clear, if not more sweet. Though, is there not a sweetness to clarity that can almost make the truth seem worth it? To say I'm not quite sure makes me no less king here. Sometimes I open my hand and there's no sea at all, just a windy plain. What appear to be dust storms crossing it turn out, on reaching me, to be the disappointments, all of them, that I never intended, each one on horseback, my cavalry, each face raised toward mine, as if awaiting command, hungering for it, forgetful or stupid. I can see no difference. Look away from me. I haven't said you can look at me. Happy birthday. Cheers.
Thank you so much. It's so good to hear you.
It's great to be here. I'm going to mute myself now.
Hi, Patricia, happy birthday.
Thank you so much, Saeed. It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you. I just wanted to say, thank you for saying hello. Thank you for challenging me to say hello. The first time I met you, I was a junior in college, and it was at AWP in Atlanta in 2007. And I remember, seeing you read 31 as part of the National Poetry Series at 9 a.m. In whatever convention series room. And I worked up every ounce of courage I had to walk up to you in the book fair and say hello afterwards. And I will just never forget that the warmth and clarity you had in your voice that morning in 2007 is the warmth and clarity you have in your voice now. And it just, means the world to all of us. So
thank you, my love.
Thank you. This is a new poem. It's a run-on sentence at the end of time. Ruby rotted in my ruined mouth. History begins as one blessed lyric at the end of a very bad love song. Because blind to time as I be and been, unreliably remembered as any Black body in a time measured in dead Black bodies, I need you to believe at least one of us will be left dancing a dark circle under bird-heavy tree branches at the blue hour before dawn, after the last fire burns itself quiet, having burned down the last building on the last block in the last city I built for the both of us, brick by thieved burden. Way back before I taught the mockingbirds to sing all of my names for you, then shot them down one by one. Before two birds got away and took all the names and songs with them, before you taught me not to grieve the sudden silence that followed, because every song is someone's history, and history is how men learn to lie. Back before you gave me another man's body in the dark and watched me tell him that I loved you. Before we killed time to avoid killing each other, before those two birds came back with another man's name in their mouths, before the mockingbirds multiplied in the dark as easily as men lying to each other about history, before the future looked as innocent as a white man smiling under a white hood while waving a white flag, before we heard a blessed lyric at the end of a very bad love song, and briefly believed all the lies were worth it. Happy birthday.
Thank you, love. When's your poetry book coming out?
Girl, I don't know.
Please.
Go to the next person.
Uh-huh. Mm.
He's too busy winning awards for his memoir, which is fantastic.
So am I next? Who's next? Is that me or is what? Who?
It's you,
It's
Cornelia.
me? No, is it Terrence? I thought I just saw the head of Terrence Hayes.
You did, but that doesn't mean you're not, that doesn't mean you're not next.
All right, okay, all right. I ain't doing nothing. All right, wait, don't blame me. All right. So listen, I'm just really happy to be here. It's great to be. I thought I just saw the head of Terrence Hayes.
You did.
Yeah, I know. I did see the head. I did see him. You know, but here, I mean, it's great to be. I mean, we've been in isolation. I've been in this house on Long Island since mid-March. Rarely been out of the house. So
You're stir crazy.
yeah. So it's really cool to see everybody. And also to hear everyone. Patricia, you know, goes way back, right? It was like, you know, I'm going to write a poem. I couldn't get the poem together in time for you, but I'm going to, for the next time, I'm going to have this poem ready for you about the first time I encountered you, which is actually at the Strand bookstore, you know, where I found your book for the first time. So, you know, as I've said many times, and I'll say again, you know, I have my own sister. My sister I love to pieces. She is my you. But if I had a poetry sister, that would be you.
Thank you.
So here we go. Since it's you know, African American woman poet, I'll start with the first African or American poet. I'll read from this series I'm working on, Phyllis Wheatley. So, the Mercy Poems. To Phyllis Wheatley's mother. They say your daughter is a rare orchid. She lives in a fancy house on a high street. They named her after the ship which bore her, they claim, across the waves. They say your daughter is a cuckoo's egg. She walks the street in English garb. She did not fill the shark's belly. She does not sweep, hoe, or breed. She stood just once upon the block. Your daughter is as exotic as white pepper. She reads, she travels, and when she dreams, a clean head kisses a starched pillow. She can cradle the owner's spell book between her dark hands. She has learned to sing in robber's tongue. Your daughter's quill makes patriots blink. Her black skin, spooled parchment, home, bill of sale. God has given her a kingdom you can hardly pronounce. Sometimes in her famous book, a line will slip and she is returned, unrefined, before Mrs. Wheatley scooped the sickly child, fed her broth and bound books. Alas, my dusky mother, she writes, if only she knew, the first note of mercy is pain. Translation. Starts with a line from June Jordan. Come to this country a slave, and how should you sing? June Jordan. How do you say this in Senegalese? My mother is gone. I dream my father calls my name, but I cannot fill his arms. The ship is a crazy beast. These irons cut my legs, and the air reeks of shit and piss. I am sick and thinning from hunger. What happens to me in this strange place? What is the tongue of this hostile tribe? New birds, cold air, narrow streets, hard and uneven to walk, slop and thirst on the tongue. If you scream your name, no one listens. If you yell where you come from and people stare through you, are you a girl or a ghost? What did Phyllis tell the Wheatleys that first day with them? Clothes, they say. Broth, they sing. Soap and water to soothe whatever you have. One more. Wheatley had a trial because they couldn't believe that she wrote the book, writing the poems that she wrote. The trial of Phyllis Wheatley. She claims she wrote a book, But here's what could have happened. In order to make a point, to move things along, a rich white man in pre-revolutionary Boston decides to raise some abolitionist sand by pretending to be a young black female slave, bursting with the good word, bristling with Alexander Pope. Maybe he owns a printing press. Maybe he's got some buddies to go along with the gag. Up and down the block fly the broadsides. Between slugs of air and church hymns, the panic of black verse. An alternative could be all of the above, plus a young black female slave, braided to the cause, teach her to recite just enough, petticoat her just enough, an indentured level. Written by Phyllis Wheatley, a slave owned by John Wheatley, versed by Phyllis Wheatley, a teen Ethop, late of Africa. If a Negro can write a poem, why not a fish then? Why not a cloud with feet? What is your name? A long way from home, sir. What is your tongue? Poetry and the breath of the Lord. What is your accent? A patriot, sir. It will take a jury of proper white men to prove this true. John Hancock, to swear in ink, this we saw. The paper, the quill, her black hand singing. Happy birthday.
Thank you. That's beautiful, Cornelius. Thank you, love.
I'm muting right now. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Cornelius. Our next round of amazing poets include Franny Choi, Carlos Andres Gomez, Era D. Matthews, Amanda Johnston, Tamika Cage Connolly. I hope y'all are ready. Hold your seat. Go ahead, start lighting it up for the birthday girl. You ready? I am. Let's go, Franny.
Hi, Patricia.
Hey, Franny.
Oh my goodness, happy birthday.
Thank you so much, love.
I'm so honored to get to celebrate with you. I don't take it for granted, the privilege of being able to enter the world of poetry into a world that you built, Patricia, that you made a space for me and so many of, I'm getting, okay, here that comes. You made a space for so many of us to feel welcomed and feel seen and feel that it was possible to be loved. So I'm just ever grateful. And then to get to learn from you at Vona and learn things that I had never learned for the first time.
I think we kind of learned from each other, Franny.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and if there's one thing that I really learned, it's that it's okay to go to that furthest place that seems impossible to go and to trust. It's okay to trust that there will be something there to catch you. So thank you for that lesson.
You're welcome, love.
Okay, I'm going to read, this is called Unloved Poem. If I call myself unlovable, I am practically. If I say it enough times, unlovable, then, like practical magic, I'm hollow as old garlic. I'm distant-skinned. I'm a long, mean package, a terror dyke, a nag, a squinting, slut-spun hag. It's easy, really. It's the simplest thing. I do it in my sleep. I have invasive dreams, after all. They infect my lover's skull. They crank our jaws into 4 slow hammers. After all, I'm made of distance. Plus the beautiful things people have tried to put inside me, they fall out the bottom. No one can kill me with kindness. No one can reach me through the sound of such ancestral ugly, sound of my grandmother's gagging a half-century ago. Did they? My grandmother beating her stomach with her fists, drinking medicine, then poison. Did she? I'm distant-skinned. No one can put a story inside me but me. If not even my memories love me enough to stay, then fine. Cut off the hands that keep me married to any history. See, like magic then, I call myself a rotted out bulb, and soon enough I'm hauling out the wet stuff, cracking my compost heart under a shovel's faceless verdict. Sometimes a highway opens between my hearts and I run suicides between until I'm lactic. Sometimes I wonder how long I'd have to run to reach the last generation where one of us felt loved and I crumple into carcass. I come from a short line of women who are handed husbands as salvation from rape. I'm a short lie of a woman who men have wanted to tear apart with their good, strong hands. I mean, same. If I love anyone enough to know they deserve better than me and stay anyway, then what? If I love myself enough to beat fistfuls of poison into me who hurts me, oh well, I'm just imitating the rocket's red glare. I'm just covering the old song. Unlovable is open source. Anyone can make up new verses to sing it. Here's the part where I list the times my white ex hurt my feelings, or my white teacher, my white therapist, the white boy who put his dick inside me, the boy I liked too much, the woman who let me fall in love with her too fast. Of course, there's the boy who died by accident and left me only able to write beautiful poems about his leaving, pretty only love things I threw and threw into the endless distances inside me, highways of quiet. Oh, I've been hard to love in America. I've been slow to speak in America. I've been undoubtedly un-American and done practically nothing to stop it. I've been some version of my grandmother slinking around the floor of the GI bar, shivering in the bathroom of the GI bar. I've been some version of my grandmother making child after child for a loveless man. I've been her, and I've been the version of her that lives in an opportune land, that chooses who she loves, that sits by a window writing, drinking water with Tulsi, breaking chocolate with her clean hands, that goes to school and after school and collects heart and heart in her well-oiled forearms and still has the gall to be unlovable. Oh, my badly loved grandmothers, I kin you to me facelessly. I wrap all our deaths around my shoulders like a fox pelt coat, grandmother across oceans and ages, grandmother across the border, grandmother carried off by soldiers, grandmother carried into endless highway by disease, or dog, or dawn's unrelenting purge. I rap until I'm made of grandmother, until the ritual musk of their dreams is sprouting from my skull. Sandalwood, ambergris, copper of blood, coin copper, clay of approaching dusk. I am loved by pheromone, if by nothing else, by accident at best. Oh, beasts of fortune, I am loved sweetest by the horrors of blood, by my own and by ours. Oh, blessed root rot by ours. Thank you, Patricia. Love you. Happy birthday.
Wait, don't go yet. Oh my God, Franny. Oh. Geez.
Love you.
Love you back, baby.
Wow, Franny. Patricia, I will never have the words to be able to express how much I adore and admire you, and you already know that. I think it terrifies me to think about what the version of that high school kid that met you more than 2 decades ago in Worcester, Massachusetts, who that guy would have become without your example and your mentorship. And yeah, so I'm really honored to be a part of this. And there are a lot of people I love that are here, and none more than I love you. So happy birthday, Patricia.
Thank you, my love.
This piece right here, this poem, is from my forthcoming book, Fractures. And it's inspired by a conversation I had with a novelist friend of mine about the fraught politics of reviews of our creative works. And related to that, a rabbit hole I went down on the Amazon website along that same theme. And the title is pretty self-explanatory. Mein Kampf has better reviews than 100 Years of Solitude on Amazon. I found out today. At the exact moment a sound like drowning or heaving took me and my ears hostage as a kerfuffle of futile scrapping tried desperately to keep a bird atop a ledge so as not to tumble from my 5th floor air conditioner. I could tell you nature is breathtaking, or carefully describe how the scent of my daughter's sweat-dampened scalp just after she's woken and taken that long drawl of a yawn, is still cradled by the pillow on my lap where her nape was resting just 16 minutes ago. But what would that prove? Once, I watched a slight, nervous man in a starched, pressed uniform empty a flurry of baton hits on the limp skull of a homeless black man for snatching a rich white woman's purse. Watching, I felt freed of my innocence. All 7.5 years of my life seemed to evaporate into the thick summer air of Central Park. It was 1989, and I knew definitively, for the first time, how easily I could kill or be killed. Love you, Patricia.
I love you too, darling. Thank you. Worcester.
Patricia, love you so much, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for carving a way for people who come from performance backgrounds. There was this chasm between performance and the page for a very long time that didn't need to exist, and you were the one that forged the way to make that go away so that we could see work for what it's meant to be. We can't hollow out gold with a dull chisel, and so what we're trying to do is to do work every day with the sharp tools that we have, and I thank you for providing us all with tools to do the work that we need to do. I'm going to share
thank you so
I'm going to share a video project with you, which is what I'm on right now, which is what I'm working against right now. It's a poem, and it is about being essentialism, essentially. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. Here we go. Enjoy the ride.
On making an essential nigga for the gatekeepers. Take at least 2 of any of these niggas. Nigga ain't got shit, nigga. Think they ain't shit, nigga. Hands down the pants, nigga. Circle jerk, I jizzed, nigga. Jeans slung low, nigga. Tommy Hilfiger, nigga. Look at this label, nigga. Pop this collar, nigga. Bespoke ass, nigga. Pull that resume, nigga. Crude up ass, nigga. Ain't no nigga hot as me, nigga. What you know about that, nigga? Rent a center subsidized, nigga. No house, no equity, nigga. Fuck boy, I love pussy, nigga. Just the tip, nigga. Bitch, mine now, nigga. Ham hock pot liquor, nigga. Black lacquer bedroom, nigga. Grease that scalp, nigga. Velvet wallpaper, nigga. Don't talk about my mama, nigga. Ain't I a pretty nigga, nigga? Wave cap board brush, nigga. They invited and I went, nigga. Sucking pink nipples, nigga. Riding peach dick, nigga. White ice best cold, nigga. Michelle Pfeiffer ass, nigga. White savior, save a sinner, nigga. Massa show good to me, nigga. Milk and toast, nigga. Look at my fat pockets, nigga. Weren't supposed to be nothing, nigga. They made me great, nigga. On the map, nigga. Can't read maps, nigga. GPS work just fine, nigga. Follow it to the grave, nigga. They buying you out, nigga. 30 and a crown now, nigga. Captain Sunk can't swim, nigga. Don't make no waves, nigga. Sharks worse than whips, nigga. Cotton gin boom, nigga. Wait for the gavel, nigga. Going once, going twice, nigga. Sold to the highest bidder, nigga. They don't even like you, nigga. Much less need you, nigga. Ampersand and asterisk, nigga. More where you came from, nigga. Spade, hole, and dibber, nigga. It's never about you, nigga. About what you signal, nigga. Green, not black, nigga. White hot spotlight, nigga. Look at the parade, nigga. Helium strings and mylar, nigga. Lip sync platform, nigga. They love niggas like you, nigga. Floats and hip hop, nigga. Cheer and Colt 45, nigga. Free promo ass, nigga. Please, sir, call me Mr. Nigga, nigga. That's how they like their niggas. Hands where they can see a nigga. Soapbox built by other niggas, nigga. Standing on a trapdoor, niggas. If not me, then who, nigga? Somebody gotta get it, nigga. Now you see me, nigga. Now you don't, nigga. Magic, glitter, dust, nigga. What's your name, nigga? Should I know your name, nigga? Aren't you that other nigga, nigga? You look just like that other nigga, nigga. Don't nobody know you, nigga. They revision history, you nigga. Nobody told you, nigga. Use a ripped page, nigga. Use a footnote, nigga. Use a if then, nigga. If that, nigga. If that.
Okay, so you guys didn't see anything, right? Okay, we didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
We didn't want to do anything, but all we saw was the Finder window.
Oh, shit.
And we want to see it.
Oh, fuck. I don't know how to, well, I don't know how to make that happen. I just did the share thing, the share screen.
And there were some, there were videos there in the Finder window, and I didn't want to.
I wish you would have said something. I thought you were seeing it at the same time that I was.
No, we were all being.
When you share screen, you have to select the window on your desktop that you want to show. Yeah.
Hi, Jamila.
Sorry,
my bad.
What do we have to do?
When you press share screen, something pops up where you can choose which window in your desktop you want.
I thought I did that. Sorry.
No, sorry, nothing. We want to see it.
It might just be that you have
audio is everything. We want to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, we want
Or
to see
you could
it.
just email it to Mahogany and we'll put it up at the close of the event.
Okay, that sounds good.
Also, just to be clear, I mean, I put this in the chat, but like, I was getting my life from audio.
Still,
Like,
even still, the
I'm
audio
ready
was
to
fire.
give you the Oscar just based on, like, I just want to be absolutely clear.
Did you hear it though?
Yeah, we heard it. We were listening.
Okay, as long as you heard it, that's fine.
No, it's not.
The experience is the video though. The video is quite good.
No, will you send
See,
it
I
to
was
Mahogany?
feeling it. Truly.
Okay.
I just want to listen to you say nigga and talk about brushing hair.
I
Like,
hate
that's
that
all I'm
you
gonna listen
see
to.
it. All right, I'll send the video then. I'll send it right now to Mo.
Yes, sir, honey.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, Patricia.
Amanda!
I yield my time. Bring back the video. No. We want to see the video. Okay, now I know we're going to see it at the end. We're going to see it at the end, but that shit was fire.
Amanda, don't do anything. I lost my whole screen. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Michaela, what do I do when I lose the screen? I exit out. I did that. Oh, never mind. There she is. Okay, you're great. Thank you. Okay,
Anyway, man, that shit was fire. All of that was amazing. But when that shit happened to that nigger, looked like that other nigger, I about fell out my chair. Sorry. Okay. Happy birthday, love.
Thank you, sweetie. So good to see you. I haven't seen you in so long.
It has been a minute, but I mean, in true Patricia Smith fashion, when you are going to do something, just step in a room. I don't care what room it is. I don't care what the evening is. I don't care what the ceremony is. You make it home. You make it home for so many of us. You make it possible. You make us feel welcomed and loved. I knew when I was going to come on that you were going to say, Manda, because that's how you greet. Because that's how the greeting goes down. That's how we love. And that's how it is for all of us in this room and everybody watching at home. So thank you for making a home for all of us, no matter where we are, if we're with you.
Thank you, Maddie.
I'll read 2 poems. Oh, and Mr. Rico was here to say happy birthday, but they got chicken in the kitchen. Sorry, we can't compete with chicken in the kitchen.
How old is Mr. Rico?
Mr. Rico gonna be 8.
Woo! With his little fine self.
All right. When my daughter wasn't assaulted, she shook with fear, or was it guilt, at the officer's unraised hand and smile. How she leaned away slowly when he called a tow truck instead of backup. How her tears fled when he showed mercy over rage for the couple on the side of the highway, flat tire wasted against asphalt. She couldn't help but look at her white boyfriend pacing along this strip of road and wonder, what if this was a different part of Texas? What if this hero was a different shade of power? Would she be so lucky Or was it luck? If the absence of a known pain is just a heavy hand in repose.
Oh, oops.
Last one. No good deed goes unpunished. I see the white man driving next to me and consider every scenario of this moment as we approach a red light and what's at risk if I lower my window, expose my daughter and myself to the unknown repercussions of kindness. I calculate the risk involved to tell him his gas cap is open. His face, a concoction of morning traffic and time, ignores my initial honk and gesture toward his tank. My daughter asks, is it safe? I assure her I'll smile, be soft, do all the right things that in no way guarantee will survive this human interaction should he see danger, a threat in my concerned Black woman face. I honk again. I refuse to live in a world where we're too afraid to do what's right. The man turns toward our car, aware now of our existence and the immediate future rests in his lap and what's beyond my understanding. He nods and drives off, gas cap dangling. My daughter corrects me, no, mama, the gas, is it safe? And I'm lost in meaning. What is safe in this burning for survival? Love you.
Oh, thank God.
Happy birthday.
I love you too, darling. Thank you. Yay, CC.
Ooh. Patricia.
Hi, darling.
Happy birthday, sweetheart. It's such a joy to see you. So we met about 22 years ago in Louisiana. You read so much touched me, but map rapping.
Wow.
Like I felt like my spinal cord was being broken and then reassembled. And for 20 years, I promise you, you have been a beacon, a light, a word, and a hope to me. And I know that I'm not the only person. So I'm just honored to wish you happy birthday. And there are so many people that don't deserve to be alive. And you bless us with your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamika. I love you, darling.
Summary 2. The Cell is a song for Whitney Houston. When I say the word multiplication, I mean eternal, immortal jukebox with its conductor ghost. Press buttons, light up, wait, dance, take a beat, play, dance again. The Cell is the song, microscopic, epic, tender. Did Whitney die when the high notes died, strain beneath her sweat, rip we could not climb? Who ever loved a Black woman? Head back, gorgeous neck bulging, sky rising up and out, her mouth stitch a healing. Only the invited can touch your hallowed body, entombed in sequins made of gold. My great-grandmother said Mahalia refused a blues contract, said she had to sing for God. But a Black woman's song does not stop when her heart does. She is the ever bloom, petal of rose that flutters once on the ground, sprouts a tree. Multiplication, I say, is what God loves. There is a new Black called triumphant. I need its wind in my bones. Carve some Whitney shine high on my stiletto. Somebody call my name like you love it. When I hear the soar, I will clone anew. Another some me, a girl with braids for eyes, red ribbon slit for a nose. She hears like silk, a clean break, a voice to set the captive free. And this one is inspired by map rapping. What you did to me in that seat, I'm gonna try to give back to you in this poem 20 years ago. Thank you, Patricia. Commandment, after Fred Moten. So you don't just walk on me. You slide behind to do the right thing on me. You bless me. You see past the chill of me to come and lay warm beside me. Look above the fiery mountain of me to the keepsake in me. Chase away the blues on me to shake the gospel down in me. Tell me stories of trees and hills, family rotted in me. Know the past ghost of me to raise the dead of me. Put a hand on me. I found some history tattooed on me by a family that was lost on me. Got Holy Ghost in me. Don't go too fast on me. Strain your body all up and around on me. Push and pull on me. Wash the last cup of me. Happy birthday, baby. I love
Oh,
you.
you have wrapped your own map.
Woo.
Love you, Tamika.
Love you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tamika. Our next set of readers include, in this order, Sam Sachs, Mark Doty, Michael Warr, Tim Siebels, and L. Lamar Wilson.
Happy birthday, Patricia.
Oh, wow. Whoa, look at you. You totally different.
The mustache.
Yes.
I
yes.
shaved for you. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Sam.
I love you so much. I feel so lucky to be writing poems after you. And I don't know. I think like everything I love about poetry, I learned in rooms listening to you say poems, how sort of haunting and transformative a poem can be, what's possible in a room where a poem's in the air. And like I met you first as a student looking at an icon, and then I realized that you're like the kindest, coolest person in the world, and then have loved drinking with you at events and sort of like learning like how you can be rigorous and you can be brilliant and you can also necessarily be kind and hold people around you. And that's been such a gift and a lesson. So thank you for everything.
Thank you for what you taught me too, darling.
I also feel like we should do this maybe every day. Celebrate birthday. Although that sounds like a lot of work to organize, but I do it in my own way. Okay, this poem is the last thing I wrote before the quarantine. It's sort of about friendship. A friend of mine got the heart transplant. It's called Xenotransplantation, where you put like part of an animal in you. And it's, yeah. Okay, so this is for Steve. My friend Steve's got a pig heart in him. Or Steve's got part of a pig's heart, a piece. His heart's part pig. The aortic valve is the dog god guarding the tube blood runs through once it's been scrubbed clean. One of two semi-lunar valves, which sounds like part of a moon, a piece. Steve's got moons in him, separating the two major atriums. Steve's full of ballrooms, those dark vaulted ceilings. Steve's a vegan. Steve's a vegan with a pig heart thumping club music. Steve believes the pig in him is vegan too, since it eats what he eats, speaks when he speaks. The pig heart pulses in his chest like a reflection of the moon in a puddle out behind the club once we've finished dancing. Steve takes drugs so his body doesn't reject the organ. Steve takes drugs so he can go on dancing. His pig, grown to be sewn into a man's ribs. Unnaturally selected, no God could have predicted this in the garden. Still, holy the bit of tissue that lets him live and live. Thin miracle that set another 17 years going inside of him. If you listen close with one ear to his chest, you can hear the pig heart singing. All I want is to live and live and live and live and live. Love you so much. Happy birthday.
I love you too, darling. My best to Steve.
Looking for Mark, Mark, are you here still? You may have dropped. We'll come back. Michael War,
I'm here.
right on.
Oh, I was looking forward to be able to say I read with Mark Doty. Happy birthday, Patricia, Pat. You know, I could tell stories for days, right?
I know this.
I am so glad to know you, and so glad when you showed up at the entrance of Blues Etc. in Chicago, where I was standing with a clipboard checking poets in, and you did a classic Patricia Smith thing. We had never met. We were both virgins on the poetry scene, and you acted as if we had known each other for centuries. You said, honey, I don't know what you're doing, but you sure are doing it good. That was at the entrance of Blues Etc. You had barely gotten in the room. The next day, we met for lunch, and you handed me your poems over artichoke dip and dry martinis. And we have been at what we then called Poetry Inc. ever since. That was in 1988. I just figured that out. So thanks for inviting me. I'm going
You are
to,
welcome. You had to be here.
I'm going to read slightly an over 3-minute excerpt from a 15-minute poem that I've been adding names to since 2018. So it's a long one, but just going to give you a little bit of it. It's called What Not to Do, an unfinished poem. Breathe, Eric Gardner choked. Sell, Lucy's. Resist to death. Stand, Amadou Diallo, in vestibule. Carry, wallet. Loiter, shot. Look, out of place. 41 fired. Act, suspicious. 19 bullets. Kill. Walk, Terrence Crutcher, hands in air. Have a very hollow look. Shot in back. Drive, Samuel DeBow without license plate. Shot in head. Reversed, Deonta Yerber, too suddenly. 30 bullets fired. 10 kill. Park, Tanya Haggerty on side of road. Talk, on cell on side of road. Shot, on side of road. Drive, Philandrica Phil with broken brake lights. Carry, legal firearm. Tell, you have a gun. Shout, not reaching for gun. Shot, 5 bullets to the heart. Fail, Sandra Blaine, to signal. Act, too uppity, found hanging in cell. Carry, Tamir Wright's toy gun. Shot with real bullets. Carry, remain Brisbane prescription bottle. Shot, 2 bullets to torso. Carry, Miles Hall gardening rod. Have, schizoaffective disorder. Shot. Carry, Stephen DeMarco Taylor baseball bat. Have, a manic episode. Shot. Not carry, Keith Lamont Scott, a gun when told to drop it. Shot. B, Natasha McKinney, schizophrenic, stunned, 50,000 votes to death. B, Michelle Shirley, bipolar, 30 bullets, 8 to chest, back, arms. B, John Crawford, an imminent threat. Shop for Walmart air rifle. Carry, Walmart air rifle at Walmart. Talk on cell phone at Walmart. Shot with real bullets at Walmart. B, Tony McDade, trans. B, a suspect, shot. Call Kalina Lyles, the police, while mentally ill. Shot, 7 bullets. Fit, Jordan Baker, the description. Shot. Flee, Freddie Gray, unprovoked, spine severed. Run, Stephen Clark, through grandmother's yard. Carry, cell phone. Shot, 20 bullets fired. 6 hit, primarily in back. Jog, Ahmed Arbery, shot, 2 bullets while hunted. Play, Atiana Jefferson, Call of Duty in bedroom. Little Zion watching, shot. Sleep, Aliana Jones, 1 bullet to 7-year-old head on couch. Sleep, Breonna Taylor, shot, 8 bullets in bed. Sleep, Richard Brooks at Wendy's. Flee for daughter's birthday. Point, spent taser, shot 2 bullets in back. Breathe. Thank you. You know I love you, Patricia.
Love you too, Michael. Can I say something? I'm going to anyway. Okay, so the show that Michael is talking about, the very first poetry show I came to, I didn't come to do poetry. I came to drink and and laugh at the poets. And when I got there, I found out that there was this great literary community in Chicago that I didn't know anything about. And this vibrant scene, and the one person who was there, who stayed there, this was a 5-hour show over the course of a winter afternoon. And the one person who stayed, the 2 people who stayed there the whole time were Michael at the door with the clipboard, checking people in, and Gwendolyn Brooks. You know, so, and if it wasn't for, I don't think if I hadn't gone there, I probably wouldn't have started writing poetry. So thank you, Michael War.
We're glad you are writing poetry.
Uh-oh, who's coming? It's the awkward pause.
Yeah, we're waiting for Tim Siebels to come on up. I see him.
You see him. You see all, Mahogany. You see all. Is that a throne you're on?
It's a bench.
Tim's on mute. Tell him to get unmuted.
Terrence is like,
On mute.
unmute yourself.
He still don't see it.
He is reading down, reading back.
Is he reading?
Unmuted him.
His best poems. Look at him.
Tim, you got to hit the unmute.
Wait, where is he? Is he still reading?
Yes.
Down. He's reading. I love it.
Oh, man.
He's going to be done in a minute.
No, don't be done.
Yo, Tim, we can't hear you, dog.
We can't hear you, Tim. Wheel it back, wheel it back. Turn your mic up. There you go.
Maybe we should, oh, is he on now?
Nope, it's still muted, Tim.
Maybe we should chat. I'm going to send him a message in the chat.
He can hear us. His computer just ain't picking up.
Oh.
Not picking up your microphone. We're gonna come back. Maybe reboot, Tim. Reboot your system. Yeah, just reboot. Gotta love technology. L. Lamar Wilson, are you ready, baby?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready.
All right.
L. Lamar, stay ready.
I hope. If I'm like you, I'll try to do that. I have been. I was thinking about it today. There's not a time in my adult life that I haven't been chasing the words of Patricia Smith. When I was a student of journalism, I was chasing you. And when I decided that I wanted to try to do something like poetry, I was chasing you. So to be among so many people who I love and admire, I'm very grateful for being in the room.
Thank you, darling. And thank you for the birthday song every year.
I will always do it. And I haven't forgotten I need you to send you one. Okay, so I'm from a little town called Mariana, and I'm from a smaller community called Burden Hill. And so I'm writing poems about this place. Okay. Burden Hill, whippoorwill, we play dead. Like you, all day, then rise at night and sing our chorus, Gabriel's chasmal cry. Oh, let the flesh flayed in midnight's gleam rise first, reclaim this desolate terrain. Let these now redeemed say no more. Drive these ill-bred ghosts more mad with silent glares. Flashing black and luminous smiles, our seek has found invisibility fecund. We work now, like you, while it is night, when no white man can without our never-ready backs. Unfurl our ancient tongues and drag these sacked hearts with this terrifying refrain. This land's all mine. All mine? all mine, all mine, mine, all mine, all mine. You all have lied to yourselves. You've occupied our home too long. Get out. So I was raised by a bunch of women who many of them didn't finish high school, didn't finish second, third grade. And so about 10 years ago, I was in a room with Patricia Smith, and she gave all of us this picture. And she told us to write a poem. And I couldn't. And then last year in April, I buried 4 of those women, and we buried 4 of those women within a month. And when the last one, who had lived through this moment that we're living in now through the pandemic, and who had survived so many of the things that we're trying to figure out how to survive, I couldn't write anything for that 10 years ago. And then I picked up this picture last year after the last funeral, and I wrote this. So thank you, Patricia, for making me remember that I have to look into the eyes of these women. And that picture immediately made me think of one of them. This is Carrie Bell and Babalu Ayi prepare stinging nettle tea. We don't die. We fruitful and multiply like the good master say. Fields of okra, snap peas, collards, cabbage spring out the ground. So many bullets sagging on the vine, you can hear them holler, pull me, cut me, watch me grin. We oblige. So much green between our waists and toes, we can't see the clay caked in the spurs cutting our heels for the pines that shade us. We tramp them cones, they shed that seed the soil that keeps us alive, our loins spilling, more mouths begging to be filled every day. Dim pecker woods would turn every limb into a grave if I make a let 'em. You talk about how they strung up claw, but you done forgot Sellers. Smashed his skull twain under that magnolia over yonder, where he seasoned these here roots I'll boil to break that fever you so afraid won't loose you. But every season, more squash, kale, peanuts, melon split open, so sweet, everybody begged to sink their teeth in deep. Like them weeds you yank from this here earth, we won't die. We your worst nightmare. Shoot one of us down and our children's seed will take root and shoot up right here like our pappy's done. Mustard, limas, sweet potatoes, whites too. Our roots too deep. You can't kill us all. Think of all that cane you so keen to suck on. Drag that stalk too long, that juice will turn bitter as the laughter in your throat and choke. Don't let them fool you into cutting your own tongues out your own sisters' mouths. These here is the best of times, where the sun don't stop shining till you can smell the moonshine midnight riders crawling out their bed to climb in yours and rub against you till you sing like locusts in heat, a low hum, a steady moan, till they kingdom come and morning light appear. I love you.
I love you too. That's beautiful.
Okay, Tim is back. Let's give this another shot. Tim, you ready? I know you ready. Is the computer ready?
Even after he unmutes, I still can't hear him. And now he's muted again.
Sometimes you have to go to system preferences. That's what I had to do. It was complicated, and it wouldn't take. I had to close and reclose the window.
Danny, you just be complicating shit. Hi, Danny.
You know me. You know me. Yeah, I made this.
All right, Tim. So while we figure it out, we're going to go on to our next batch of readers. And Tim, I'm going to text you and figure something out with you. But until then, we're going to hear from Terrence Hayes, Afal Weaver, Benjamin Bush, Rachel Mckibben. All right? Thanks, y'all.
That's a crew.
You put this together now.
Ugh.
Hey, Patricia. All right, so I'm supposed to be able to share the screen. I'm going to get right at it. Patricia, you know I love you.
Love you too, T.
What else can I say, you know? So I've been doing these kind of like, I don't know, cards, all-star cards of lesser known poets. see if I can get this bit. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to read a couple of them because, you know, I just decided to write one for you, Patricia. So they're all a little bit different. I guess I'll start with this because, you know, S.S. Hemphill is also from Chicago. So I'll just read like two of them and then read the one for you and I'll be done.
Thank you, darling.
Mahogany Bronson, hello too.
Essex Hemphill, 1957 to 1995. You know what I should say? Does anybody know who Roscoe Lee Brown is? No, that voice, it's almost as good as James Earl Jones. Some days I think it's better than James Earl Jones, his brother from the, he did a few blaxploitation films.
Yes, didn't he have, wasn't he like bald on top?
Yeah, that's right. He hung
Yeah.
out with Ozzie Davis, who also had a great voice. So I'm actually trying to sound like him when he actually reads a couple of Bob Kaufman's poems in that Bob Kaufman documentary. Anyway, so that's what I'm trying to do. What you hear here is me trying to channel his spirit as I read these.
Nice.
Okay. Essex Hemphill, 1957, 1995.
In another room.
Essex Hemphill, born and raised in the age of infectious hungers, communicable longing, and the heartbreak of desire, died in 1995, having proclaimed in his poem, "For My Protection, We Should Be Able to Save Each Other." Hemphill proposed in the poem an official organization wherein a Black man could stroll Harlem, Wall Street, Hollywood, South Africa, with his tongue untied, without penalty of death, physical harm, or the snares, stares, and snares of distraction and disaster. Hemphill's life was partly my life and possibly partly more or less yours. Are you ready for whatever, whenever? Hemphill asked. Not only those sporting S-curls, dreadlocks, and styles that never expire, but the guardians of the endangered and admirers of the priceless. Born and raised and run around the districts of America, Hemphill proposed in the poem an official organization to help Black men survive and alluded to a rich catalog of love without fear, of Black men and Black jackets and caskets of flowers, of the people who love them, and of dreamers on a train moving through a countryside of cattle grazing below a Confederate flag painted on a barn side. Protection from undermining fault lines and headlines. Protection from the hole of a blind bullseye. Protection from the nurse's eyes, the doctors and angels gossiping at the bedside. Strike out with fear for love. Strike out without fear for love every day you are alive, suggests Hemphill's poem in existence. Strike without fear and let your mouth fall open every day you are alive. I feel like I'm taking a long time. I ain't got to yours. Maybe I should just read yours next.
I think we're good. No, go ahead.
All right, well, as I said, I ain't sent these nowhere, so I don't know if they're all good, but let me try this Bob Kaufman one. Bob Kaufman, 1925 to 1986. I feel like it's got to be a little bigger. Okay, here we go. I got to move this screen here. Okay. When Bob Kaufman dies, age 60 in 1986, from a condition in which the liver does not live properly due to long-term trauma, the ghost he meets traveling the road from San Francisco back to New Orleans call him the Buddha fly, because he is pajamaed in a burlap robe and holds a quill made of crow feathers in his writing hand and a writhing crow in the other. Transient Buddhists defecting to God while lambasting the fifth commandment, like Noah, shipwrecked and gnawing his nails with his wisdom teeth. Kaufman was thin as a skeleton, transported to the realm of symbolic meaning. It was the middle of a triple-digit July. The gate swung between cafe excursions and nights of smothered rage, spontaneous revelations exploding into birdland saxophone refrains, black rain falling on the snow and the ancient rain falling on the maternal from a distant American sky, crackling with eclipses, commuted bluenesses, footprints hidden beneath shadows, shivers impaled on slivers of wind and silver traffic, impaled on nautical sounds of weeping and scouting. The pregnant tongue bouncing up and down like a merchant marine counting vultures and stars from the deck of a sinking ship in the mouth of Bob Kaufman. He won't put the quill and crow down, even when the ghosts offer him shade and drinkable rain. All right, so this is one for you. I've been, it's the first, I guess, living person.
Oh my God.
We'll see what happens. This is how I spend my time. All right, let me, I read it slowly. I think that's a picture from the 90s of you. I don't know where that picture came from, but I liked it. Okay, Patricia Smith, 1995.
I hope it doesn't get canceled. Exclamation.
Born in Chicago in 1955, the first time a 6 or 7-year-old Patricia Smith was given an eye exam, she turned the writing on the wall into a series of Abecedarian blues poems. A Smith is essentially one who hammers, bends, and welds a variety of complex and tenacious elements into tools, weapons, and instruments. Kinds of smiths include, but are not limited to, the swordsmith, the gold and coppersmith, the gun and locksmith. Kinds of smith poems include, but are not limited to, the dramatic monologue, the political elegy, the sonnet, the guzzle, the golden shovel, the constant, lovely love poem. A smith's desk is an anvil. Smith can make and repair complex chains of attachment and chains of syntax, as well as the complex clasp on the gold chain worn by a young trash talker walking on a basketball court in sunglasses, blue jeans, and tube socks because he does not want to hoop in his new Air Jordans. A smith works in a smithy. Between life according to Motown and incendiary art, Smith worked in Tea House of the Almighty, Blood Dazzler, while raising her granddaughter. Ogun, god of blacksmiths for Yoruba practitioners, climbed down to earth on a spider web and gave the secret of metal to Black people. Smith fashions poems with the metal a Black woman needs to survive. Smith is a common surname among 2.4 million mostly African-American Americans. You are very likely some kin to a Smith. You may feel like someone floating in a swimming pool animated by lightning reading Smith. It may feel like someone has kissed your scalp to instigate time travel. The eye doctor first mistook 6 or 7-year-old Patricia Smith's poetic eye chart resuscitation for witchcraft, bebop, and or glossolalia. Each of the child's ocular sockets contain extrasensory sight receptors that make you feel the way a fortune teller feels looking into crystal when you look into them, read the doctor's diagnosis. He was very likely the first to witness the vision of Patricia Smith. He certainly was not the last.
Jesus. Oh, my,
How
Terrence.
do I close this thing out?
That's absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Oh, there we go. Did y'all get it off the screen?
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh,
love you.
Can I get that?
Yeah, of course. I'll send it to you.
Thank you, darling. Oh, that's amazing.
That's my thing. I love you.
I love you back.
Who's next? Who's next?
Who is next?
Terrence, can I get that tattooed? How do we feel about that? How does everybody feel about that collectively? I'm doing it tomorrow.
What happened?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. Hello, Bubba.
That's it live. Yeah.
Hello, you there?
Yeah.
All right, you hear us? We good?
Can you hear me?
Can everybody hear him?
I unmuted myself.
Yeah, we can hear you. You're good.
Good alive.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Pop, try going to settings.
Settings?
Yeah.
Where?
So you go to mute and click that arrow next to mute.
Next to mute?
Yes.
I love that he has a small child telling him.
You go to audio settings.
Audio settings?
Yes, and then that's where it is.
Oh, so what do I do now?
Am I the only one who hears him? You guys hear him?
I hear him as well. He may not hear us.
Can you
Oh,
hear me?
yes.
Okay, your microphone works.
Yes, we hear you. Do you hear us?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear
You
us?
can?
Yes. Can you hear us?
I think they said yes. I'm not.
Everybody just put a thumbs up so we know he knows we
I
can
can't
hear him.
hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay. All right.
Just say you can hear them.
All right. I can't hear you, but you can hear me. Well, Patricia, how did we get to be in our 60s, girl?
Who? Oh, you.
I'm a little bit further ahead than you are. Happy birthday, sis.
Thank you, love.
I have my cheering section here with me as well. Okay, so I'm going to read my Malcolm X poem, all right?
All right.
This is the one that Amiri inspired back in 1980. That's when I started working on it, all right? I worked on it for 18 years. For your birthday. To Malcolm X on his second coming. Malcolm X, alias El Haj Malik El Shabazz, alias Malcolm Little, alias Detroit Red, deceased. The coffin breaks, fingers wriggle through clay, touch the light, a chiseled face comes full with flesh, eyes roaming the landscape of his own prophecy. Negroes in their infinities, Benzes and BMWs, chains of gold around their necks, 50 tons of gold for teeth, sneakers handmade in the glass pavilions of murderers. Hip hop stirring the empty souls up from this tomb, and our lost hopes he stands and prays into Allah's outstretched hands for mercy. This is why he came back on the plantation porch. Little Missy plays with Liza, offering her lemonade. Liza, tell me again about them runaways you turned in. Them bad bucks daddy hanged and cut up. Lovely little Liza made, brown eyes, brown eyes. At 5 o'clock in the morning in Baltimore and Philadelphia and New York and Newark and Chicago, the fresh morning water of showers falls, and the followers of Elijah utter their morning prayers. Allah the beneficent, Allah the merciful, all praises to Allah and the nation of Islam. Hope of the resurrection of the so-called Negro comes to life, the life before the death of the master. Liza, where your mind, child? Me and the other boys had plans for being free and coming back for y'all. My mama raised you from a little nothing, and you turned us in. Now we rotting in some place with no name, cut up like dog meat. Liza, where your mind, child? Malcolm walks in a Harlem along the broken streets, gathering mystified eyes, and Sylvia's, he pokes his head in and asks what food there is for the soul. Some woman says, you look just like Malcolm X. You should have been in that movie that boy Spike Lee made. And she goes on cutting up custard pies and singing a gospel song she wrote. Malcolm goes over to St. Nicholas Avenue, looks down on the city. Afternoon shadows begin to fall like the difficult questions of his father. Malcolm mourns his mother, the abyss she fell into and could not escape, the abyss of his genius. In a glimmer, an angel settles on his shoulder, as small as a pin, but with a voice like a choir singing, no more grief, blessed son, no more grief. Malcolm falls to the pavement, sobbing for Elijah. Little Missy sits in her bedroom chair, sewing eyes on her doll, singing. Liza listens to night sounds, afraid of darkening the door to tomorrow. Little Missy says, Liza, come round here and rub my feet before you go to my daddy's room. In the Audubon ballroom, the night he was killed, Malcolm X saw his assassins rise amid a host of spirits, battling for his life. Demons and angels filled the space, battling for his soft head as his eyes took Allah's kiss. His murder was a rupture in the world of the spirit. The demons rushing desperately to name their position in the African heart, where the angels fought to defend God's voice, uttering his own holy name, Allah. Malcolm's head hit the stage like a giant stone from Zimbabwe, landing on earth. His mind took on its silence while his spirit was filled with song. O blessed son, come unto me, O blessed son. In front of the Schomburg, Malcolm rises above the city, his mind covering all of Harlem, while he issues the manifesto on self-defense. Strike me and I will strike you back. On freedom, freedom is a fire waiting to come. On the future, no profit will come from destruction. On the nation of Islam, the saved are still saving. Caravans form in the streets, unloading the unconscious souls. The open eyes of the living dead stare from windows and shops at this voice that is in every doorway, and this body that is the landscape, as if the city is now flesh. In one moment he is there and then he is gone, letting their bodies go softly back into time. Negroes wonder what has been among them and is now gone. Malcolm sits on steps on Convent Avenue, again just another man. An old woman pulling a cart comes to him, touches his head, and both of them vanish into Allah's wish. The wise among us chant the filling of our life with life. Take this fragment of a gift from heaven and anoint the heads of the young who are our promise to live. Teach, Master, teach. Teach, Master, teach. Teach, Master, teach. Wa alaikum salam. So, happy birthday.
Same to you.
Stay healthy, stay safe. Take your medicine.
Love you. Oh my God.
We have Benjamin. Benjamin, are you still here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Phoebe.
This is my first Zoom, so you know, for a barbarian, I've come a long way in the last half an hour. Well, this one is for you. I wrote it for you in honor of your 65th. So it names itself. People always say they need more time, unless they're waiting. What was the first purpose of counting it? Was it just to divide endlessness, slice up the nights? Someone had to draw lines through eternity to separate us from the deities. Arabic numerals from the Hindi, from Brahmi. Even now, I'll have to use Latin letters, grown from Semitic symbols, traveled into English words, all of it nomadic. Days named for the Norse gods. Your birthday, yesterday, was Thor's Day. In the Greek month of Hera, renamed Juno by Rome. But no one told the Aztecs or the Chinese. Kingdoms and tribes following their own constellations, all of it turning, tethered to rotation. And who named the moon after it was Luna? I didn't choose my name. Patricia Smith should have been Jimmy Savannah. We've forgotten all the goddesses, made one god, a man so powerful and lonely, left to watch all his mistakes from a timeless place. We're different ages on other planets. 65. You'd be 5.5 years old on Jupiter. It has no mountains to climb, no stones, no bones. A failed star. Imagine its disappointment. Too small to fuse its hydrogen, get lit, and become a sun. Its mass, just gas. The surface, so soft. If anyone dared put a knee on your neck, you'd both just sink toward the center. Together, become the core, the source of gravity. Maybe enough to finally light the whole thing, cast the earth's shadow on the sun. We just keep being born again and again.
Thank you so much, Benjamin.
You gave me 3 minutes tonight and I gave it back. See, poetry? Poetry. Happy birthday, Your Majesty.
You've given me so much more than that. So good to see you.
Your next 65 years.
Thank you.
We have Rachel Mckibben's next.
Uh-oh. What's up?
Hey, how are you, my love?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm ready to kill people.
And in other news.
In other news, I love that my first AWP was very similar to right now. You were walking down a corridor between the hotel and the book fair, and you had a glass of wine that was clearly not meant to leave the hotel lobby, and you were definitely sloshed, and you grabbed my boob, and so
that's right.
That was amazing.
I think you left one.
You continue to keep the little lesbian in me alive, so I thank you for that at all times. And so in honor of all of that, I'm going to read a couple little poems, including Minneapolis Lipstick, which you made me write for the Purple Prince Poetry Party at AWP. And it's interesting too, because I used to masturbate to Apollonia, like to fall asleep. Much of I don't know, my elementary school year. So I was really happy to have this poem kind of drawn from me, thanks to you. Minneapolis Lipstick. 1. Santa Ana, California. 3 a.m. in my cousin's basement, lights out, television volume spun low. We are huddled around the screen. A small congregation of forgotten children, slapped faces illuminated by a 5'2" black man decked out in lace, eyeliner, spandex, and the gutsiest high-heeled boots big enough to fit only a mannequin. This Minnesota royalty freaks and splits his body biblical. Throat raw with screeching doves, he pirouettes with his truest love. A pale pawn shop guitar we daydream of buying someday with our lunch money. 2. 1984. What planet is this? A 3rd grade heartbreak apostle. I got a butch haircut my father calls a Dorothy Hamill. Nah, Pops. Watch me spin the girls against the handball courts, bold, answering their tongues with my tongue, my forbidden schoolyard brides, my makeshift Apollonias. Once they're in love, I pull away, bite my lower lip, wink, then walk away. I am not yet a king, but I got moxie, and I move like I know I will die young. 3. Boys will be boys unless they aren't. 4. This is what it sounds like to praise our heavenly bodies in spite of the hells that singed us into current form. For the permission you granted in sweat and swagger, for the mascaraed tears you shed on screen, for the juicy curls hung over your right eye like dangerous fruit, for the studded shoulder pad realness and how your falsetto gospel rang our young queer souls awake, we say amen. All right, that's that one. I'm gonna read a little shit and then I'm gonna get out of here. I am so fucking grateful to be a part of this shenanigery.
I'm so glad you're here. Yeah.
To be involved in this library of celebrations for you. I'm really, really just, you know, I will kill for you. I will be your forever accomplice in everything.
I have an underwire. I have an underwire of yours, remember?
Your underwire.
Okay.
Yes. My big, you know, Cholita mitts will hold up your luscious body, your entire soul, whatever you need. This is called Homecoming. Lord, and it's wild. I wrote this right before you know, the pandemic broke. Lord, grant me a deathless year, a fist committed less to memory, good dental, rough sex, a blushing bitch to forgive. Grant me sisters ready to eat my enemies, a house full of gentle ghosts, my father mounted above the mantle. Grant me a tender butch fixing to get their ass bit, a moonlit field and legs for running, job security, a living wage, a found clit. Grant me painless mammograms, multivitamins, and good dick, infinite bees, a lasting planet. Grant me a working dishwasher, 24-hour libraries, an endless snap card, newspaper singing the president's obit, a table and food for all my kin. That's for you, my love.
Well, prayer for all of us.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, darling. Same to you. One of these days.
Woo!
My girls.
Okay, we have Danny Solis, Troy Derricott, Evie Shockley, Nate Marshall, and Eve Ewing. Closing out that round will be Avery R. Young, but we're going to try this one more time with Tim Siebels, who has returned. Tim, are you ready?
Tim.
Okay. So I promised Tim, if it didn't work, we was going to do this. They can hear you, Tim.
Might be a little too much feedback.
Turn your computer off. You just gotta turn your mic off, and then they can hear you. Can y'all hear him now? Yes, because you have me on your computer. Mute your computer.
If it's a laptop, close it. Is it a laptop, Tim? Close it.
Yes, close your laptop. Close your laptop. And now we can hear you. We can hear you great. Yes.
All right, good. Want me to do? Yeah, anyway, yeah, I've never had problem with Zoom before. I'm not sure what's wrong because it kept saying the host has you muted, but I knew Patricia didn't have me muted.
No.
But anyway, whatever. Anyway, I wanted to say, Patricia, we go way, way, way back.
Way.
You blurbed my very first book, and but I think what's funny about that is I hadn't met you, I don't believe, or maybe I did meet you in Chicago at the reading when you tore something up. Because I can't remember the whole story now, but I know I met you somewhere in Chicago, but I don't know why exactly we met. But you are my great heroine, and if I couldn't be heard, I wrote on a piece of paper, "You are the beat of my heart." I was just gonna flash that on screen. You are the beat of my heart, Patricia. Happy birthday! I know you're turning 65 today. I'll turn 65 in about 6 weeks, so we're right next to each other. Anyway, so I'll read you this poem. When I think about you, I think about music and Motown a lot, not only because of the book that you wrote, but also just because of how many hours we spent, with you DJing parties and so on when we were teaching up at Stone Coast in Maine. So this poem is called Either Way. Days when something grazes my shoulder. Sunlight, sidewalk, the shadows sharp. The sky holds a cold unbreakable blue that says, why look up here? Doesn't seem like so far back. Couldn't dance, scared of girls. I heard Smokey sing, go into a go, go, with that soft crystal in his voice. Pictures, music caught somewhere in my head. I'm sick of memory. My younger self, still inside, wanting a way out of this, who I am now. This busy all the time, this itch middle of my back. But who was that kid in the basement, all alone with the miracles moving his feet? The orange couch covered in plastic, black marks on the beige linoleum. Something about solitude, if you can stand it, makes you feel wise. The voice in your head talking its way somewhere, pressing you to believe what it says. And though you can't remember when you grow into it, or you don't, each thought breaks into the next, keeps on, turns back. Either way, you don't ever really understand. You get used to the snow shingling your hair. Your idols, one by one, begin to leave. Their old tunes fill the coffee shops and gently bob your head. What is it that your life forgot to mention? Hum a few bars, you say. Anyway, thank you very, very much. I can't see anybody. I don't know what y'all heard.
We love you.
We hear you.
Okay, I send love to everybody. I could read another poem. Could you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll read one more if that's okay. I was gonna read two, but I said if the sound isn't right, I wouldn't do it.
Wait, can they see me?
No.
Sounds good.
Okay, all right, I'll read you one more. And but anyway, love to everybody. And where is it? Here's this poem called it's called The Little Star Blues Villanelle. Little Star Blues Villanelle. Someday, no one will wonder where you are. Your name won't be on anyone's mind. Remember, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Count up the hours you scratched in your car. Where were you going most of the time? Someday, no one will wonder where you are. Maybe you think I take things too far. I think it was Mom who taught me to rhyme. She sang, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Some days die like big bugs in the tar. Who was that small boy at the start of your mind? Someday your mother won't know who you are. Would have been nice to be crowned the czar. Tell everyone else what to do all the time. You better twinkle, twinkle, little star. What you think makes people work so hard? Like money, some mountain we're supposed to climb. One day, no one will wonder how you are. Mostly what kills me won't leave any scar. I bet I know why most people go blind. They need twinkle, twinkle, little star. Let's sit in the shade by that tree in the yard and chew on the hours with their lemony rind. Someday, no one will wonder what you are. Remember, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Thank you, and love to you all. I can't see anybody now since my computer's off, but love to everybody. I so love hearing everybody's poems, and
love you,
it's just nice to be in company, and just happy birthday. And I'm drinking a little Gentleman Jack in your honor, Patricia. You are the one. All
Thanks,
right,
Tim.
now.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, see you.
And now we'll go back into the rotation. We have Danny Solis, Toy Derricott, Evie Shockley, Nate Marshall, Eve Ewing, and closing with Avery R. Young for that round.
Hope Jody comes back. That would be cool.
All right. I guess you can hear me, yes.
Danny Solis.
Hi, Patricia.
Oh my God.
I miss you so much, just every day, you know. Everybody's been telling their stories about when they met you. And I met you the very first time in Cambridge, and I walked in the place, you know, feeling bad like I usually did, like a badass back in the day, and kind of looking around, and I'd heard about you. And then there you were on stage, just rearranging my DNA. And I walked out of that fucking club that night and quit poetry, because I said, I can't do that. What she just did, I cannot do. But then by the next day, I was like, you're all right, Solis.
You got this.
You can do your own version. It's true. Nobody can do what you do. It's one of the reasons that, and one of the things that makes you so special. And everybody saying that they love you, and all these people, it's like watching people, you know, at the wedding, the opening scene in The Godfather, and they're coming up to The Godfather, and they're, oh, Godfather, you did all these things for me. I'll never forget. But you know what? There was only one Luca Brasi. And I am your Luca Brasi. Patricia Smith, thank you for inviting me to your birthday reading.
You are welcome, Daddy.
On the day of your birthday reading. I'm going to quit that impression right there and do this one. I didn't start writing this about you, but you're in there. This is called Litany. Fragment 1. Welcome to a girl waking up with a mouthful of blood, prayer book of gritted sleep, fingers to lips considering blood maps, ancient litany of loss and need and movement. Fragment 2. A woman remembers the girl and the blood, salt and metal, considers random absence of tooth, tongue pushed into empty. Fragment 3. This is the map of darkness says. Sextant of shadows to navigate the absence of light, a packet of invisible tattoos and diagrams to be used accordingly. Fragment 11. Things have gone missing, gone in the normal tangle and crush of minutia, wave after wave of slowness. Oh, for the drama of Leviathans, operatic combat and lavish exits. What endures is steadily caught between thumb and forefingers, a casual erosion, fluttering book, wings of forgetting and loss. Fragment 13, the woman sits on a balcony. Of course she does. She plays a conga. It is a fountain of brightness. She smokes a cigar. In the smoke there are maps and hieroglyphs. She laughs at the idea that I could tell her story. Of course she does. Fragment 13, ponder the woman again. All the maps are lost. There is a song that escapes memory. Fragment of shadow, lluvia de sombras, sonrisa nublado, un baile pequeño, tambor azul buscando momentos de agua verde, agua azul, agua pa'l sed de la alma, buscando lágrimas of laughter like bright flowers, garden of breaths caught and released back into a river of possibilities. Fragment of blue, on the edges of black, a persistent and encroaching blue. Blue bleed black and black to blue, slow hands of dusk weaving the shadows down to the bright horizon, the black of the darkness, the halo of blue, jagged outline of every smashed window, a mother's mouth flung wide to mourn. Sedimentary blue, foundational blue, intrinsic blue, generational blue, endemic blue, inherent blue, bone deep blue, integral molecular blue, a packet of as yet undiscovered blues to be used accordingly. Fragment of green. Hear the green river. Hear the wailing, hear the waiting, hear the hammering of blues, hear the flight of hope, hear the capture, the waiting, the cages, the mesh, the metal, the bars, the doors, the cages, the glass window veined with wire, the cages, hear the litany of escape, hear the strategies, hear the rough sketches of hope, the preliminary diagrams of sleight of hand. There is a moment of inattention. Here is the path to an opening. Here is a way to breathe. Hear the river, the blue dusk, the green river. Let us cross together. Song fragment. The woman teaches fire breathing, each breath a lesson in burning, each lesson a song, each song a push back on that which would steal our breath, each breath a spell to cast up the darkness, blue-black magic, spinning darkness filled with stars to be used accordingly. Fragment of a shard. And the grief closed around her like the fist of a giant, hideous, implacable. It did not know she was a shard of flame, sharpened on stone, whetted with water, taught in fire to cut, to burn through any darkness, all this time. Fragment of ancient machinery forgotten till just now. Pulleys and levers and bones, bulbs and switches and blood, wires and bamboo and hope, uncut stone full of dreams. The gathered materials of deconstruction, all the great lessons, comprehension of the complex, necessarily unavoidable to come here, at the ends of all the available maps on this shore, right here, in all these children, chanting, we are here, we are here. We have learned the lessons you suffered so much to teach us. You were taught to make fire. We are the flames themselves. Look what you have wrought. This was the destination of the blood hieroglyphs on your fingers in the middle of those nights. It was a map to here, right here. We will not let you squander us. I love you.
I love you too, Danny.
So much. Thank you. And everyone, it's great to see everyone. And it's great to hear Tim. Tim, if you can hear me, if you're not muted or whatever. So I love you, man. I love you. So thank you. I'm muting now.
Hi, everybody. It's Toy.
Toy!
Hey, happy birthday, Patricia. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. I brought a surprise mystery guest. I hope you can see her. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, wishing you happy birthday.
Mama Lucille!
She's wishing you happy birthday.
Thank you.
She at Comic-Con when you were there?
So good. What?
Was she at Comic-Con when you were there?
Comic-Con. I got to eat fried chicken with Rita and Lucille at the same time.
Oh my God. Well, I just want to tell you, Patricia, that you brought something so important to Comic-Con. And I knew it, I could feel it, and opened up so much. But the night I fell in love with you was 3 o'clock in the morning in my bedroom. I heard all these people having so much fun outside my bedroom window. And every night, and they were all saying, shh, shh. And I went and peeked through my blinds. There was a lot of drinking going on. And I think you were playing hopscotch or I'm not sure if it was basketball or hopscotch.
Both.
A lot going on.
And I was the only faculty member out there, right?
Right? That's right.
Oh, yeah.
You were with the bad guys, the bad kids. So that's when I fell in love with you. So happy 65. Joy is an act of resistance. I'm going to read 3 poems. The Blue Nightgown. You might need this one, Patricia. What made me loosen the rules? Buy online 3 ice blue nightgowns I discover I can live in. So many years of misguided self-reflection, examining every curve in the mirror, promising one day unlimited pasta, Now I pass through dining room, kitchen, hall, slightly off the floor, like the great opera stars of the 20th century. I'm dressed for singing. My apartment is the stage of the Met. Vacuuming, cutting garlic, my hand floats, my large self floats. I breathe in and out, the blue nightgown floating around my ankles. The Tong child is a fossil from Tong, South Africa, 2 million years old. Before making love, I move my hands over your face, closing my eyes as if blind, the cheekbones broadly spaced, the wide, thick nostrils of the African, the forehead whose bones push at both sides, as if the horns of fallen angels lie just under, the chin that juts forward with pride. I think of the delicate skull of the Tong child, earliest of human beings emerged from darkness, whose geometry brings word of a small town of dignity that all the bloody kingdoms rest on. And the last one, the orange juice machine at Whole Foods. We all need rest, Patricia. Happy 65. At 8 p.m., they take in the orange juice machine at Whole Foods and put her to bed. They slide her arms out of the plastic squeezers, for she's worked so hard, and put her in a long white nightie. Then they rest her head on a cool pillow and turn out the light in the fruit room. All is silent as she closes her eyes and dreams of a certain Florida beach. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Love you guys.
Love you, Troy.
Okay, can you all hear me? Hey, Patricia, you can't walk away when I'm about to say happy birthday to you.
I should have brought your portrait, your photo out here and held it up.
I was just gonna say, I'm not telling my Patricia Smith origin story. I'm just gonna say that our friendship is kept forever young by this kind of picture of Dorian Gray.
I'm holding on to it. I'm holding on to it.
Oh my God. And I also want to say, well, happy birthday. And thank you for making your gift a gift to all of us.
Thank you, darling. We had quite a year last year. We had fun.
Yeah, it was totally fun. We got to do that again.
Let's.
So I am going to read two newish poems that I wrote after teaching elegies for a semester, yours included, Patricia, and several others of you on this, this call. And though they loved your poems, my students were like, death, I'm so tired of, they were exhausted, as we say. So I wanted to write a couple of poems that speak to what we're thinking about, but from a different angle. So this first one is called Holla. Or I should say Holla. I don't know what's after death, but I do know my ancestors. And if what comes next wasn't better than this mess, we'd have heard about it. There'd be some half-embodied, half-spectral stank attitude up in the kitchen or on the front stoop, and wouldn't nobody get no rest, let alone peace. If what comes next didn't outstrip this world for beauty, there'd be some gangster grievances to deal with. You think not Harriet Tubman nor Tupac Shakur would have something to say? You figure neither Ella Fitzgerald nor Ella Baker would sound off? Do you really believe that Malcolm wouldn't have the means necessary to let folks know if he found things unacceptable at the other end of his transition? We'd be minding our own business, and suddenly a voice carrying 30-odd years of hell no and 3 continents of you gots to be kidding me would be all sing muse of the wrath of a Phyllis, pentameeting all over your I ams. Young Emmett would turn up Everywhere we look, kick back and whistling Dixie from under that cocked fedora till your skin crawled. We'd have Ida B. Wells and June Jordan reporting on the universe's dirty draws, leaving no question unasked and no record unread. MLK would give book, chapter, and verse on the meaning of promised land. Du Bois would loosen his cravat, Morrison would release her death stare, and you'd know it was on. Look, I don't have the goods on what comes after death. Another pass at a planet that's still more forest than concrete, a voyage into dark matter with a chance to send our atoms back as rainfall or baby's breath, a party hosted on the solar plane by Duke Ellington, Sun Ra, and Intozaki Shange. Maybe a front row seat for viewing the human animal finally getting ready to evolve. Hey, someday we'll all get all the dirt. But rest assured, if it wasn't better than this ish, I'd already gotten word. And a very, very short sonnet called Sonnet for the Second Act, for the Long Second Act. Your body is still a miracle, thirst quenched with water across dry tongue and lips, or cocoa butter, ashy legs immersed till shine seen, sheen, the mind too cups and dips from its favorite rivers, figures and facts, slant stories of orbiting, protests or protons around daughters or sons. It backs up or opens wide to joy's gush, downpour, the floods the heart pumps, hip hop, doo-wop, dub, veins mining the mud for poetry's, oh, cell after cell drinks, ringgold colors, mulled, cool cascades of calla lilies, swallow and bathe, breathe, believe, through drought you survive, like the passage schooled you, till rains arrive. Thank you. Happy birthday, Patricia.
Thank you so much, Evie. Oh, so good to have you here. Another year like last one.
Damn, that was great. Oh man. All right.
Go over everything.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Oh man, Patricia, I love you so much. Oh man.
Wait, is your father really from the West Side?
He really is. He grew up.
Hey.
Yeah. Before he moved to the hundreds, he came up on like Roosevelt off of Kedzie.
Oh wow, that's the real West Side.
Yeah. So yeah. But Patricia, you're like a top 5 West Sider in my book. So I'm gonna read this poem real quick. When I say Chicago, capital city of the flyover, crown jewel of the jailhouse, a town in love with its own blood, a blood browned on its own history and funk, hometown of the riot and the riot gear, the gang and the loitering law, misfit blocks of dark-skinned cousins and thick-knuckled Slavic uncles who call each other their worst names. What this country know about a Rust Belt dipped in salt and vinegar and sold as marked up and rustic. My city is the city, not your close enough suburb, not subject to the suppression of tape and the tapping of phones. How can you say anything about our blocks and schools and children that you refuse to see? Don't tell us what is wrong with all of our cousins you've never known. You do not govern what you do not love. When I say Chicago, I mean that first Haitian cat who could pronounce it right. When I say Chicago, I mean the stopped and frisked. I mean the euphemism of frisk. I mean the beat down and tight cuff. I mean the drop off in Bridgeport or Mount Greenwood. I mean the lessons taught to an uppity one. When I say Chicago, I mean the lake, and I mean all of it. I mean the candy lady at Rainbow and the paleta man at Calumet and the kids careening across the green at Montrose and the jogger in midwinter daring a death for fitness. When I say Chicago, I mean Cabrini and Stateway and Ickes and Ida, the city I'll tell my kids about in the past tense. I mean the rents that sometimes make me mean Georgia, or Indiana or Dalton. When I say Chicago, I mean the restaurants with no chairs, just a window and a bulletproof sneeze guard. I mean a Michelin star for all the ethnics slanging their season meats and language. When I say Chicago, I mean my mama's house that was my grandma's house. I mean the neighborhood that was our neighborhood, because we said we'll make a home here and we'll stay. Cool. Yeah, thank you. I guess I'll read, I read one more quick one? Because
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's sitting right, my nephew's sitting right here, so I'm gonna embarrass him real quick.
Let's see him.
Justin, you wanna say hello?
Justin, come on, Val.
Hello.
What's up? Hi.
Yes. So I'll read this. This is a poem for Justin.
Embarrass me.
Yeah, you probably don't even remember this poem, actually.
Oh no, not that. No.
No, not that one. A poem. It's called A Poem for Justin. Because you asked for one when I told you to stop jumping on me that night as I was writing. Because your favorite Jay-Z song is December 4th for his mother's voice and Jay's story about his life. Because I told you the first song you heard in your young life was I Used to Love Her in the hospital room with my big headphones over your soft head. Because you asked me your first word and I said I didn't know, and I could have told you a good lie and made that a small poem we shared. Because when you spend the night, you take my clothes and drape them over yourself like a prayer shawl. Because you clown me to my friends and impersonate me in a way that says, I see you, uncle. Because you ask me if I love all books, since I have so many, and I say only the ones that tell us who we are. Because I ask you what I should write about, and you say, write about us. Happy birthday.
Thank you, darling. Oh, out the bottle. What's up, Justin? It's the e-viewing.
What up? Wow, I'm in my feelings. Patricia, happy birthday. Oh my goodness gracious. I have so many things to say. The main thing I want to say is that I'm so glad that I'm alive in the time when you are, and that I can't believe I get to share this plane of existence with you. Good golly. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna read, and shout out to everybody. This is great seeing all y'all. I'm like really geeked right now. I'm gonna read a poem about the West Side. This is a golden shovel. It's called April 5th, 1968. Sound all good? Sound good? Okay, cool. Our country is over, you see. Here lies my prettiest baby, and her glass fingertips are all over the tar. In the before, I told her, play, beloved, and from the storefront piano came legends of the mountaintop, and it made me weep. I was an ugly phoenix, but our dirt was our own. As the sun rises now, I know what we do is right. Unafraid, I stand before the skinny boy with the bayonet and say, before I'll be an ashen ghost, black gone gray at your hand, like our dead philosopher, I'll burn my own, you see, just the way I want, and you will know it's mine. Goodbye, Madison. I will remember my country, my sun uptown, because there on the mountaintop, I saw the fire in the valley. They were coming to take you away. They came with cursed water, the hurting river they used to strike down the children of Birmingham, each life a bad joke in their bull eyes. And I said, not here, not never, not Madison, and exulted in the shadow of the first fire. Then the next, the heat sending sweat into my eyes, that simple salt hurt, keeping me from thinking too long of your piano gone mute. I suspect the boy wanted to run then, but he stood shaking, gun raised, and I said, if this is it, if this is my last day that ever was, man, at least I know I got over, that the likes of you will never have us, that the street I call my only home burned to dust at my hand. Let them sing of how bright the sun was as a coward struck me down. They will tell it always. They will say that one glorious morning I showed them your heart, lest they think it was settled. Thanks. I'm gonna be real bogus and read one more poem. It's Nate's fault. He set a bad example for me. I wasn't gonna read this, but Patricia, you also blurbed my first book, and in this book, you seem to really like this poem about Koko Taylor. So I'm gonna read this poem. It's called True Stories About Koko Taylor. Koko Taylor walked up on John Henry, took the hammer right out his hand and bent it and twisted it into a fine necklace and took him to a real nice dinner. Koko Taylor had 12,000 wigs. One she never wore, just kept it at home. It was enchanted, spun from gold and full of rubies, and sang to her at night in the voice of her mother. Koko Taylor wrote songs with a blue ink pen. Koko Taylor wrote rivers with a blue ink pen. Koko Taylor wrote the Illinois Central Rail Line with a blue pen, just got right on her knees and scratched it into the ground. Koko Taylor was the ghostwriter of 17 Beatles songs. Koko Taylor was the inventor of the icebox. Koko Taylor could play chess with checkers. Koko Taylor could bake a pound cake in the palm of her hand by winking. Koko Taylor flew from Memphis to Chicago on a jukebox. The jukebox could grant 3 wishes. Koko Taylor wished for lipstick, the color she saw in a dream. She wished to be born again under a good sign. She wished for a better jukebox. Patricia, I love you so much, and I'm so praising you every day, all day. Cheers, appreciate you.
Thank you, darling. Cheers to you. Thank you for Koko.
Taylor, pour some out for Koko, y'all.
Oh, no.
Hey, big sis. This is a lament. It's for you, all right?
Wait, can we sing to you? Later.
Are you about to sing right now?
All right. Hey, everybody. It's Avery's birthday. Put your mics on. Let's sing.
Happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday
to you.
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday to
Hey.
you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Estas son las mañanitas.
Mañanitas.
Happy.
Thank y'all. I love you.
Sorry.
Take it back, Avery.
Serious mix.
Here we go. Ooh, wee Lord, I wonder, yeah, why I can't find my eyes, Lord. Ooh, wee Lord, I wonder why my dress on fire. Oh, preaching man, preaching, y'all. About to let the folk hear, y'all. Sunday morning, burning hand, Lord. Most beautiful is there. Everything goes boom.
Oh, he's doing
Everything goes boom. Yeah, look here. Ooh, we just to see thee, Lord. Where I'll never grow old. No, I won't. Lord, look at this city, yeah. Where the bricks be made of gold. Hey! Preacher man, preaching, y'all. Yeah, about the love. to get one piece of a bone. My mama sleepy showing there's a bomb. Wherever I get it, he can stop the flow. When you see my brother, tell him that I bone. When you see my sister, tell her that I love. I'ma do it. I can. Whenever watches break across the cross, the water hole. That's it. It's dirty shelter. All of them girls ain't together. When you see my brother, tell him that I will. I will. Do this summer, girl. Hey! Hey! I can't find my eye. Hey!
Oh, no, that ain't all.
What's up?
Come on, you ain't got to stop. Come on now.
What's up?
Baby.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, but you don't have to hurt nobody like that.
Look. For you, big sis. For you. This thing recording.
Oh, yeah.
Is this
All that.
motherfucker on? we gon' I gotta get some of this Jesus up out of me. So y'all,
come on, baby.
Y'all keep on. Reverend Fred. 1, 2, 3, hey! Look here!
I love him.
Come on, Jesus. Hey! Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. My Lord, resurrect Fred. Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. Right now, Jesus. My Lord, resurrect Fred. Woman is hungry. Children is hungry. Come on, Jesus. Hey! Resurrect Fred. And when the spirit is hungry, you want to take over hungry. Come on, Jesus. My Lord, resurrect Fred. I'll be 1 E from 3. Hey, hey, 1 E from 3. Hey, 1 E from 3, my Lord. Resurrect Fred, resurrect, 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 resurrect, hey, 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 resurrect.
He's gonna act up. Baby!
Wow. He turned his mic off. I want to turn it back on. I know that this could be a whole church sermon. Where you want to go, Trisha? You want to finish?
Woo!
We ain't got no time limit.
Well, oh, you got your fan?
I did. I pulled the fan out a long time ago. The church fan.
No, Avery, stay tuned. Tell them come on back later.
All right, Avery, we're bringing you back. We're bringing you back. We're going to close out our poetry set with these final readers. Kwame Dawes, Jive Poetic, David Tomas Martinez, Anastasia Tolbert, Tayimba Jess, and Jericho Brown. Folks are still riding with us. We have 100+ folks, so please go ahead and put some hearts up there, and let's welcome our last section of poets.
Hey, Patricia.
Well, hello. Hello, Kwame.
I tell you. Anyway, it's good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Patricia, love you. I think you're amazing, you know, usual stuff, but it's true. You're good. Like Bob Marley said, you know, Bob Marley says, I don't come to bow, I come to conquer. And every time Patricia hit the stage, she looks nice, but she comes to kill.
Oh, you're my lifesaver.
Kill. So, odd thing is, I'm going to read a poem that always reminds me of you. There are some women poets in the world that I constantly return to. That's you, that's Nikki Finney, and that's my girl Lorna Goodison from Jamaica. And she has a poem called Farewell to the Wild Woman. And I thought I'll read that poem for you, Patricia, because I like it. And I also think it always makes me think of you. Farewell to the Wild Woman, which is not really a farewell, if you get my drift. Farewell to the Wild Woman by Lorna Goodison. I seem to have put distance between me and the wild woman. She being certified bad company, always inviting me to drink bloody wine from clay cups and succumb to false promise in the yes of slim dark men. Sometimes though, when I'm closing the house down early and feeling virtuous for living one more day without falling too low, I think I see her behind the hibiscus in dresses competing with their red, and she is spinning a key hung on a cat's eye ring and inviting me to go low riding. That's it. Yeah, there we go. That's for you, Patricia.
I love that. Kwame, thank you so much, darling, for being here.
Oh, no, my pleasure. Yeah. Great to see all of you.
Hey, Patricia, happy birthday.
Yes!
Happy birthday. Listen, thank you so much for contributing everything you've given to all of us, right? There's so many people here I know and don't know, and so much of our lives end up in a vector that leads back to you. And that's really amazing. And we're so lucky to have you around us and in our world. Thank you so much.
Darling, Mr. Music.
Hey, let me tell you something too. And when I DJ, I always DJ. I start the set and I'm playing to individuals in the room. Right? I'm looking for somebody who's moving. Oh, yeah. And I've learned that if you're in the room, watch what you're doing. And whatever song you're moving to, that's what I'm playing for the rest of the night. And that's why I started playing all that funk music at the New York whenever you walk.
You got me, baby. You got me. I will move all night long on that.
Man, listen. Okay. So I'm gonna do a poem. This is the poem. I don't have any magic tricks or funny jokes to do before the poem. So this is this is it. Okay.
Be you.
All right. We are in the middle of the politically charged internet t-shirt craze. Mine ties my historical self to my contemporary struggle in a very simple way. It's black, it's cotton, and it says, "We out," Harriet Tubman. It's on my back, it's on my chest. I'm wrapped in it as I walk down the street. A white woman I do not know puts her hand on my chest and says, "Oh my God, you're not gonna believe this, but I used to be a slave in my past life." Her hand is still on my chest. My past self is jumping up and down, thinking about all the stuff he would do if a white woman would just walk up and put her hand on him in the middle of the day. My future self palms his face. He doesn't think anybody will believe this actually happened. My current self, still wrapped in this t-shirt, notices her hand is still on our chest. And I fear somebody might see this and not know who the aggressor is. Who the aggressor is, this white, self-identified former slave woman is now asking if she can take my picture. When I refuse to let her shoot me, when I refuse to let her get me shot, she throws a tantrum and it lands under my skin. Under my skin, I feel like if I have to depend on public opinion to choose between me or her tears, then there's already an unwritten police report preparing to spin my dead body away from what is actually happening. Away from what is actually happening. I wonder if she sees the irony in her reincarnation claim. She said she remembers being a slave in her past life, but she can't figure out why I won't let her capture me in this one. Thank you very much, Patricia. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Thank you, my love. Mwah.
Feliz cumplis, Patricia.
Yeah.
You're a real one, homie. Like right from day one, you just been nothing but love, and I really appreciate you. It's I love you. So,
Thank you, sweetie. I have a question. What did you cook today?
what did I cook today? I braised a roast, like a chicken roast in white wine and beef stock. I chopped up. I did a mirepoix, so I chopped up some carrots, some onions, some celery, seared it. Do it all together, and then
Just a little,
two
just a
veggies.
little something for you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just some shit for like around the house, you know. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Hey, you still coming over. I'm gonna get you over at the house.
You got it. I'll be there.
All right. An alluded to letter from DTM for Matthew Olsman and Vivi Francis concerning love, redemption, and the TV show Empire might not be the most august of openings, but like hypocrisy in this great falling hegemony, it's all I got. Besides, what's history but a conversation we're born into without context? And what is society but three friends who keep dipping to the DMs from a group text? Oh, America, where its most valid ID states, I am Erica, in glittery pink hearts, the hologram hinting at the fact that this card holder has a dogmatic top 40 devotion, only eats organic granola and raises strays humanely. It's easy to be angry when the Constitution starts for some, we the people, and begins for others, well, see you people. Some can't start a sentence without, to be fair. This is where if I were a white poet, I'd be ironic, especially if I had in the Stevens vernacular a mind of winter, which is a generous manner of saying said poets emotionally snowed in. It's still socially unacceptable in my community to admit predispositions toward depression, in part because we think sadness is bougie. I sure as pig believe that I was too broke to be depressed. Machismo culture means, Matthew, that we never needed any other emotion than power. Anything but anger was middling, that I never had the courage to be anything but mean, to say, hey friend, I see your achievement. Hey friend, I see your achievement. Hyperbole shades in what we are afraid to say. In my experience, when someone's really feeling you, they'll ask, you got some black in you. Don't lie. Beautiful black women ask me again what I am. Touch my hair once more. Tell me it must be the Indians in me. Tell me otra vez while holding my ears while I look up at you. No tienes labios, pero tus besos son como azúcar. Beautiful Black women, we have built so many types of pyramids. I can love you and dislike the rhetoric. If you say you don't smell beachy, oceanic, a wave breaking obsequiously, then you don't. Skin can't be the night too filled with a lonely white consciousness. We up in church yet, Vivey? The dog and pony show of white tears makes some of us pretty pettable. And here is where, if I were a white poet, I'd say Black women are saving the world. Some of the poorest poets swear by their craft. Politics, perfection, beauty were never white aesthetics. Despite this, pimps put white girls out during the day, Black girls at night. Rachel Dolezal went on the nightly news and televised us all with falsehoods, darkened us, but she probably understood Lewis Simpson best, who said every aesthetic statement is a defense of one's own. So when I say I love you, what I mean is that I love what I am, but especially, maybe more so, what I've never been. Gracias.
Oh no, he didn't play with that. Yes. Thank you, Dee. Hello, everyone. I'm going to the restroom. Talk among yourselves.
You want us to wait as you for you to return so that
it'll be like 2 minutes.
Okay, so we can wait. Jive, I know you got your DJ equipment behind you.
Yeah, pull it back, Jive.
But I'm not certain that you're prepared to take this set over.
Can I use this to say something real quick?
Sure.
Okay, Mahogany, I just want to say you are doing an absolutely astounding, mind-blowing job as the MC, organizer, tech person. What you did for Tim was absolutely incredible. Thinking on your feet like that in the moment. Everybody, give Mahogany Brown a round of applause for all the work he's putting into this.
Thank you, Mr. Solis.
Yay.
I appreciate y'all. I'm over here bawling. I'm crying. The poems are good. I'm also drinking a lot of tequila, but thank y'all so much. I just want to love up on Patricia Smith, yo. Like, Black women deserve love. All the things that she's given this community. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for that, Danny. And while we're waiting, we're going to have a small bathroom break. This is a couple of songs, 2 minutes. Jive, are you ready? I think he is. $36, $24, $36. She back, Jive. She can't hear me. Okay, Jive, she back. She back.
How's Jive in the club? Where's Jive at?
He right there.
He right in the club. What? Wait, y'all got club in the house? What?
We do.
That's in
We
the
have a whole ass club.
club right there.
All right. We have 3 more poets. They are ready. They babbling. We got Anastasia Tolbert, Tyemba Jess, and closing with Jericho Brown with possibly a redux by Avery B.
Avery.
Let's see. Are you ready, Anastasia? Have you returned, sis?
I'm ready.
Yes.
She stay ready.
Auntie Mama, everything.
sis.
Yeah.
Hey, baby girl.
I love you. I appreciate you. I value you. I gotta just write you a real birthday letter. It ain't enough time to express how much gratitude I have for you. So
good to see you.
love you. Happy born day.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad we're all celebrating you. I'm gonna get to it for you. I got an oldie and a newbie. Judy. Call me Judy. Pretend my mother is Becky. My father Ryan. Pretend everything I say is the truth just because. Pretend I wrote it. Pretend I'm intelligent and creative. Pretend I work hard for the money. Donna Summers on your dick if you need it. Call me Judy. Pretend I use the white fence. Pretend I have the big house. Pretend I have the dog. Make it a lab. Make it golden. Pretend I drink. Pretend I give smooches. Pretend I work out at the free gym. Pretend I do Pilates. Pretend I am a Pilates teacher. Pretend I like you. 2 kisses on the cheek and let's go to lunch. Pretend I smell like Prel. Lips like Bonnie Bell, Victoria's Secret model if you need it. Call me Judy. Pretend I am dominant. Pretend I own history. Pretend I am beloved. Pretend I take all the things like culture. Pretend I am exotic. Pretend I am Afro wig, lips, hips, Mississippi goddamn. Judy, if you need it. After she was disappointed about Aunt Jemima being canceled, and the girl grew up with her fangs in Aunt Jemima's neck, and the girl likes her Black women strong and sweet, and the girl wants to chew Black women into tiny pieces. Don't you see our silhouettes on her tongue? It's a mouthful. The way she was raised up, how she believes all of my aunties should be dressing on her little pancake. Love you, happy birthday.
Love you too. You ain't never lied. You know that?
Cheers.
She's so cute. All right, Jess. Where's the Jess? Yo. What's up, colleague? What's up,
Man.
King?
Let me pour it right here. Okay. Boom.
Boom. Oh yeah.
Look, what was it? Early '90s, I think in '94. I can't remember exactly. When did that book drop? Life According to Motown.
Oh wow.
Like, yo, this is my city. What you know about? What is this?
Life According to Motown was 91.
All right.
I ain't trying to age you, but
hey. And man, and then seeing you read at the Green Mill way back in the day, it's like it never changes. Every time I've seen you, you hit the stage, and you were like the textbook for me of moving from the stage to the page. Like you were the model for me. So I can't thank you enough for that. Not to mention, you know, just look at this poetry reading here. Like nobody could do this. And that you are like the crossroads of American poetry. That's what you are. It's like all roads lead through Patricia, because we all love you so much, and you just bring so much joy to the set. So, you know, so much love. Thank you.
Jess, thank you so much. Good to see you, Doc.
So you were like, I hadn't written for a minute, okay?
I know that feeling.
Yeah, you know, man. So the other thing I love about you is that you inspire me to write. This joint, I'm just gonna read this one. This joint had been, I don't know, in a draft state or whatever, and I was like, you know what? Let me try and do something new for.
Pull it out, yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time. All right. So this I guess this is that in certain ways coming from my aunt used to always ask me, "What you know good? What you know good?" And as a kid, I was like, "What?" At any rate, I love that phrase, and so little riff. What you know good? It's true. I ain't no good, but I do know better. I know the Detroit summer furnace in fury, the Chi-town winter heart beat down. I know the Brooklyn-born treetops in spring, their slow-spun good of shadow I lean into. I know that ain't no good deed gone unbeloved by somebody got no sense. I got the good gospel of blues beneath my skin, and I know I got it good when I kneel before my baby's good thing, when I'm drowning in her silk salt goodness, greedy enough to squint. The good hot air smothering our goddams. I got it bad, about as good as it gonna get till I'm good and gone. The good foot slide stepping me on out this plane. Been told I ain't nobody's good man, cause I got a good mind to get good heavens with good weed, and that gets me golden smoky. What I know good? I know that you know, that they know, that we know, that don't nobody got the goods or warrants on me. See, you got the good hand, baby. I just barely got me this good credit. Just got this good job. I was trying to get a good look out of this poem, trying to keep it out the mouths of the good old boys perched like Confederate statues on gilded plinths of God bless Americas. I was trying to keep head above good times, writhing the good fight, fried as good hair and twisted as good intentions. What I know good starts with a brick and ends with a book and bleeds in between. It walks through the screen door of promise with chisel sharp fine print, tunnel deep in its smile. What I know good is, like I said, I ain't no good, but good God, don't I get a chance to make it all good before the bullet gets out the gun, or the knee hits the neck, or the noose gets hung, or the bell gets set? You know good and well what the answer is. What I know good is what I left behind, and good God, what never leaves me. History. What I know good will always be enough to bury me. But here I am, good enough, ain't I, to rise up and tell you all I know. Thank you, Patricia. Love you so much. So honored to be your colleague.
Did you know that?
Peace.
No, you dug that one up, baby. You dug that one up. Thank you so much. Uh-oh, and here comes this.
Is it my turn?
You know it's your turn. Why? You know it's your turn, Jericho.
We're only 45 minutes late, and I know we want to.
Are we that late?
No, it's fine. We're black. I know we want to hear Area D, and I know we want to hear Avery. So I'm just going to read a very short poem.
Do you do you want us to see if Eric and Avery will do something right now so you can finish?
No. They have visual things happening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they should be last.
So you're not going to read 33 minutes like you said.
Well, I am going to read 33 minutes. They're just.
But right now, okay.
I just wanted to say before I read my very short poem, I just wanted to say I know what it's like. Some people who are on this call have had this experience. All of us have not. I'm just trying to do this without crying. I know what it's like to have a meal with Gwendolyn Brooks. And I know what it's like to talk to Gwendolyn Brooks. There are people among us right now who know what it's like to have correspondence and write letters with her back and forth. There are people who passed by her on the street all the time. And she seems to us, even if we met her now, it seems to us that she was an impossible being, this angel walking on earth. And if you knew her, then there are many ways that became the best thing that could ever happen to you, but it also became the biggest challenge for you as a poet, as any poet, but particularly as a Black poet, because you understood that you were meeting a person who was completely capable of changing her worst to the best, highest, and utmost over the course of something like 60 years, right? That's not an easy thing to do. Thank God we are not football players or basketball players. We are not even singing divas. We don't have to worry about the hit records running out. We don't have to worry about bad knees. You know what I mean? We will always be able to do this wonderful thing. And Brooks showed us that through her work. She could write a series of sonnets about Black men returning from World War II. And at the end of her life, she could write about the ways crack ravaged our neighborhoods in the 1980s and 90s. So that's one thing that we saw with her. But the other thing we saw was this intense sense of advocacy that could only be translated as love. I mean, she was there for us in a way, and we understood this, even if we didn't know her. We knew Gwendolyn Brooks was there for us. And if you ever met her, you knew, having met her, you knew after she was gone, because of who she was when she was alive, you knew that when you said her name after she was gone, that she was in the room, which is to say she is here now. Now, I'm talking about Gwendolyn Brooks because I know what it's like. This is one of the ways that I know what it's like to be Patricia Smith. And maybe Patricia Smith knows this way more than I do. I know that Patricia Smith has, over the course of her career, challenged herself as a poet, and she's taken our vernacular and done with it things that nobody else in the world could do. And I know that has been completely inspiring for me. And I know that my poems could not be written had Patricia Smith's poems not been written. And I thank God for her, and I thank God for that. And I know that the way Patricia Smith gives is a kind of giving that is in the tradition of that angel on earth, Miss Gwendolyn Brooks. And so I just wanted to say to you, Patricia, on your birthday, I wanted to say happy birthday, but I also wanted to tell you, although I know you know it, I wanted to tell you she's here, and she sees you fighting the good fight, and she sees you wearing these poems out with everything you got, and she sees you giving the way you give to us. And I see that, and I'm so glad you were my teacher. And I'm so glad you let me be on this. If you hadn't called me to be on this call, I would be so sad. I would be mad at you for the rest of my life. So I'll just read a poem now. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I say this other thing? You know, people, a lot of people, Christians are into, what do they call it? What would Jesus do? And we would all be better helped in the world if we would think, what would Gwendolyn Brooks do? And Gwendolyn Brooks knows. That spirit is aware. She knows that Morgan Parker, clearly under some kind of weird duress, is one of 2 Black women to ever win the National Book Critics Circle Award. And she knows that Mahogany Brown is doing all the work she's doing as an activist, calling people, having them read these names. And I couldn't even do it because I started crying when I started reading the names of all the dead people murdered. So she's aware of what we're doing. And that's sort of, for me, always been the standard. Can I give to my work what Gwendolyn Brooks gave to her work? And can I give to my community what Gwendolyn Brooks gave to her community? Patricia, nobody's doing that better than you. And that's why we're all here today. That's why you were able to unite us together today, in spite of whatever differences in space and time. Okay, so I'll read this poem from, for me, it's an old poem. It's a poem that I was workshopping when Patricia Smith was my teacher. Track 1, Lush Life. The woman with the microphone sings to hurt you, to see you shake your head. The mic may as well be a leather belt. You drive to the center of town to be whipped by a woman's voice. You can't tell the difference between a leather belt and a lover's tongue. A lover's tongue might call you bitch, a term of endearment where you come from. A kind of compliment preceded by the word sing in certain nightclubs. A lush little tongue you have. You can yell, sing bitch, and I love you with a shot of Patron at the end of each phrase from the same bar stool every Saturday night, but you can't remember your father's leather belt without shaking your head. That's what satisfies her, the woman with the microphone. She does not mean to entertain you, and neither do I. Speak to me in a lover's tongue. Call me your bitch, and I'll sing the whole night long. Thank you. I love y'all so much. I love y'all so much.
I love you,
so glad I had to go last too, because y'all's poems is so good. Oh my God. Patricia, happy birthday. I'm so glad you were born.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
I cannot
so
imagine
much.
poetry without you. I'm so glad you were born.
Love you. Oh, jeez.
Patricia, what you gonna do?
What's up with those people?
To be loved, to be loved. Oh my goodness.
Are we going to see the visual?
We have a visual. I got the clearance, Erin D. Matthews, because she is phenomenal. She's like, let's just do it. So we're gonna show you the visual. Then Avery, we're gonna bring you back for one more song, and then we're gonna just turn it out and listen to Jive play in our little private Zoom room.
Rolling.
Is that okay?
Perfect, my love.
Okay. Whew, I got chills.
Oh.
Excuse me though, before you do it, can I just do my little quick thing for Patricia?
Hi,
Hi, Patricia.
Hi.
I don't have a poem. It's no poem, but it's very quick because I don't know if it happened. I came late. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you, Patricia.
More fire, more fire. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, we're gonna try and do this correctly.
Well, how did you have work this night, girl?
Listen, I'm over here sweating. I broke down crying. I'm gonna take tomorrow off. I got a whole meeting with Adam Faulkner. Adam, we gotta postpone our meeting. I ain't gonna be able to do it, man. Okay. Let me know if y'all can go ahead and hear this. Watch this. Y'all see that?
On making an essential nigga for the gatekeepers. Take at least 2 of any of these niggas. Nigga ain't got shit, nigga. Think they ain't shit, nigga. Hands down the pants, nigga. Circle jerk, I jizzed, nigga. Jeans slung low, nigga. Tommy Hilfiger, nigga. Look at this label, nigga. Pop this collar, nigga. Bespoke ass, nigga. Pull that resume, nigga. Crude up ass, nigga. Ain't no nigga hot as me, nigga. What you know about that, nigga? Rent a center subsidized, nigga. No house, no equity, nigga. Fuck boy, I love pussy, nigga. Just the tip, nigga. Bitch, mine now, nigga. Ham hock pot liquor, nigga. Black lacquer bedroom, nigga. Grease that scalp, nigga. Velvet wallpaper, nigga. Don't talk about my mama, nigga. Ain't I a pretty nigga, nigga? Wave cap board brush, nigga. They invited and I went, nigga. Sucking pink nipples, nigga. Riding peach dick, nigga. White ice best cold, nigga. Michelle Pfeiffer ass, nigga. White savior, save a sinner, nigga.